we'll learn the Torah portion, from the Torah portion of the week, the story of Noah. One of the interesting stories about Noah, we already learned about, just 1 second. Yeah, we already learned about the ark, and we learned about Noah himself, why he was a special person, and we learned about the rainbow that was afterwards. And today we're going to learn, and we learned about the Tower of Babel. That's what we learned yesterday. And today we're going to learn about the terrible story of Noah's 3 sons. So Noah basically saved his 3 sons' life, his 3 sons and their wives. And when they got out of the ark, so Noah planted grapevine, and he made wine, and he got drunk. And there came out of this a terrible outcome. So let's see what it is. Vayachel Noach ish adama vayita korem. That Noah began to be a farmer, and he planted vine, a vine of kerem is a grapevine. Rashi says, Vayachel means he began. Vayachel also is the word chulin, which means mundane, regular. So he made himself chulin. He should have, first of all, planted other things. What's the first thing he planted? Was grapes. But the Malbim doesn't agree. Says Vayichal Noach Omar Shana Nata Kerem Omar Shanoach, I'm sorry, that Noach planted vines not in order to get drunk and to disgrace himself, but because he was an Ish Adama. What does it mean? That he was a master of the land, that the whole land, the whole world belonged to him. And he had to start working on it and preparing it. Noah was very expert in the land, and he planted grapes for all of mankind. Because the most praiseworthy plant, the most praiseworthy type of vegetation in the world is grapes. Why? Because grapes is the only fruit that there's 2 blessings on it. When a grape is a grape, it's just bre priya ha'etz, it's a fruit. But when you squeeze a grape, there comes out of it wine, which wine was used in the Holy Temple. It was poured. And also when a person drinks wine, we make kiddush on wine. Under the marriage canopy, there's wine. And wine demands a separate blessing. It's even better than the fruit, bre priya gafen. So therefore he planted. Now there's also one opinion that grapes was the fruit of the Eitz Hadat, of the tree of knowledge. And so Noah was going to fix this up. He was going to plant this grapes, and he was going to use it for good, because essentially the whole flood came as a result of Adam eating from the tree of knowledge and good and bad. That's what brought bad into the world and brought lust into the world, and that's what caused the flood. So Noah thought he would fix it up. That's what the Malbim says. That's what the Malbim says. But it seems that Rashi disagrees with him. He says Vayachel means that he became mundane. Oseh atzmo chulin. He should have planted other things first. For instance, wheat or whatever, which a person needs in order to eat. But he didn't. Okay, was he innocent or was he guilty? Let's see. Vayesht min hayayin vayishkor. He drank from the wine and he got drunk. Well, that's not too good. And he became naked, betoch olo, in his tent. Now, if you remember, after Adam ate from the tree of knowledge, he became ashamed. He said he became ashamed that he was naked. And here Noah, because he was drunk, he wasn't ashamed. He actually made himself naked. Rashi, it says, oh, hello, in his tent, but it's not written with a vav, it's written with a hey. This is to teach about the Shvatim. There's a sentence in Yechezkel, in the prophet Yechezkel, that it says Shomron was called Ohala, with a hey. What's the story about Shomron? This is a very shameful period in the history of the Jewish people, of like about 300 years. That what happened was that after King Solomon died, so his son took over. His son Rehoboam was not good, and God sent the prophet Achia Shiloni to a person called Yerovam ben Navad. And Yerovam ben Navad, he divided the country. He said, you take 10 tribes. He wanted to take 10 tribes, and they made what was called a separate country, the country of Israel, Yisrael. And the lower was where Yehuda and Benjamin, that was called Yehuda. Anyway, things were going okay, but then they started getting drunk, and they worshipped idols. And things were downhill from then on. And that's what it says. They became exiled. The 10 tribes are hinted at by the word Ohalo. In one place they're called, Shomron is called Ohalo, and Shomron was like the capital. That was the and because they drank too much wine, Vashotim Mizraki, it's yayin. They said that they drank with big cups of wine. And V'yizgal, what does it mean, V'yizgal? He revealed himself. Yitpa'el. He did it to himself. He revealed himself. That's what the Malbim says. The Malbim said that his intentions were good. Noah had good intentions, but he overdid the good intentions. He drank from wine and he revealed himself more than he should have. Because he wanted to drink wine and just be happy that he was alive and serve God, but he just overdid it. I mean, if a little bit of wine makes you feel good and holy, so wine is good and holy, right? So we just drank a little more. Maybe he'll feel better and holier and more until finally he overdid it and he became drunk. It was a good idea in the beginning, but you have to take care about measurements also. So he drank too much. And his gala, and he revealed himself. The opposite, mi'avarishon, the opposite of the first father, Adam. That after Adam ate from the tree of knowledge, which some people say that it was also wine, kefen, that he recognized and he became ashamed. He recognized how bad it was that he did, and Noah did not recognize. What happens next is even more shocking. Listen to this. Vayar Cham Abi Canaan. Cham, who became the father of Canaan. Now, Canaan, they're going to be the ones that are going to take over the land of Canaan. We're going to see. Cham, one of the three brothers, saw the nakedness of his father, and he told to his two brothers that were outside, hey, want to see something? Some people say Avi Canaan, that Cham was Avi Canaan. Some people say that Canaan was the one that really saw, and he told his brothers. Therefore, his name is mentioned over here on what happened. So this was a little while after they got out of the ark. Any case, they saw the naked. He saw the nakedness of his father. Okay, what did he do? It says Ham went in there and he saw the naked. Some people say that he castrated his father. Some people say that he had sexual relations with his father. That's pretty severe. Why would he do a weird thing like that? Why? What would? Let's see the next one. Ready? It says Shem and Yefet, they took a garment, they put it on their shoulders, and they went in backwards and covered over their father's nakedness. Their faces were facing backwards, and therefore the nakedness of their father they did not see. Says Rashi, it doesn't say Vayikhu, it doesn't say that they took this garment and put it on their shoulders. Vayikach, he took the garment and he put it on their shoulders. This comes to tell us that Shem, that from Shem eventually is going to come Avram and everybody. It's going to come the Jewish people. That's the anti-Shemim, anti-Shemiot, anti-Semitite. This is, anyway, Shem. That Shem was the one that he made the special effort more than Yefet. Therefore, his children, they merited to a talit that had tzitzits on it, a holy garment. And Yefet, it said that he joined into with his brother to do a good thing. So it says that he will be buried, like it says, Etein Gag Makom Kever, the Cham cover. It says that we read this Haftorah in, what was it, the first day of Sukkot, I think. And Cham, that he disgraced his father, it says about his seed, Kenyan Melech Ashur at Shevi Mitzrayim, that he took the exiles of Egypt and the exiles of Cush, the young and the old, naked and barefooted, etc. So he shamed them. So it seems that at least at that time, came the people from Cush and the people from Egypt. Nowadays, we really don't know we know who the relatives of Shem are, but we don't know who the relatives of the others are, because there came Sencheriv, and this was in the time of the first temple, and he exiled the 10 tribes, but he also conquered the whole world. And in order to assure that he would rule a long time, so he took all the nations and he mixed them up. He put every nation in a different country, so no people would feel that their feet are on their homeland, and that would confuse their children also. The children, was hard for the children to feel loyalty to, let's say, Egypt if they were born in Romania. So he mixed everybody up. So therefore, we don't know who exactly is who nowadays, but at least back then it was, and we're going to see the outcome of this. Why does it say another time that their faces were backward? That when they came near to Noah, who was naked, and they had to turn around again, right? They had to turn, they came closer. They wanted to see if they were near him or not. They came near to know. They wanted to see how close. They didn't want to step on their father, so they had to look around a little bit to see, and then they turned their faces again. Okay, what's going to happen here? Now, why did he do this? Why in the world would he do this? Let's see. Would Ham castrate his father? We're going to see. Here we go. It says Noach woke up from his wine and he knew what his children did, and his small son what he did. So it's going to say now. Let's see where it is. It says, so he said, Arur Canaan. May Canaan be cursed. Now, Canaan is only the son of Ham. So therefore he cursed Canaan. Canaan, you're the one that caused me that I won't have any children, other children to serve me. Arur bin Revi'i. Therefore, your son will also be cursed. The fourth son of Ham was going to be Canaan, or was, according to that opinion, that he was already born. Okay, what's going on over here? Look, it says, Ma ra Ham. What did Ham see that he circumcised, that he castrated his father? That's pretty sick. So it said, Ham said like this, Omer lem, la'achiv Adam Arishon, he said, Omer lem la'achiv, he said, Ham said to his two brothers, Adam Arishon had two sons, Cain and Hevel. He killed one of them, V'harag zed zeh. One of them killed the other one in order to inherit the world. Now our father, Noach, he's got three sons. We're going to have to split up the world. For sure, there's going to be some sort of an argument between us. Now he wants to give birth to a fourth son. We'll have to split up the world into four. Maybe there's going to be argument. Now that's, pretty foolish thing to do. The whole entire world, the whole world, a quarter of the world is not good. He has to have a third of the world. It doesn't make any sense. But once a person gets lust for money, then he can go crazy. And that's exactly what happened. So he said, I don't want my father to have any more children, so therefore he circumcised. He castrated him, so he wouldn't have any more children. And he said, blessed is the God of Shem, and Canaan should be his servant. Okay, what does this mean? Let's look at where is this? Malbim. It says he should be blessed. After this, the Jewish people came into the land and they conquered the land of Israel from Yeter. And Yeter was the offspring from Canaan. So the land of Israel, how did God make the world? How does the Torah start off? That it says, Bereshis bara Elokim es hashamayim v'ha'oretz. God created the heavens and the earth. And Rashi says, why does the Torah have to tell us this at all? It says to tell us that the whole world belongs to God. And if people say to the Jewish people, hey, why did you have to come and conquer the land of Israel from those who are settling there? You are thieves, a nation of thieves. The Jews got out of Egypt and they went through the desert and they conquered the land of Israel from the people who were living there. That's not nice. So he says, well, you can tell them that, listen, we got the Torah. The Torah says that the whole world belongs to God. It doesn't belong to anybody. It doesn't belong to the Jews and it doesn't belong to anyone. And God gives it to whoever he wants to. So God decided temporarily to give it to the non-Jews. In this case, Yeter, who was the offspring of Canaan, who was the son of Ham. He decided, now he's taking it from them and he's giving it to you. So that was this curse. That was this curse. That's when it started off. That these people are going to be cursed. That's when God put his Shekhinah and united his name on the Jewish people. That's why they're called the tents of Shem. That every time it says tents to a person, a tent, like Ole Avram, Ole Yitzchak, this shows on that God is uniting his special care on that people. That's when Canaan is going to be a servant. But let's do the next sentence. Yafet Hashem liyafet. That God will do good to Yafet, the third brother. And he will dwell in the tents of Shem. And Canaan will also be a servant to him. What's going on over here? Let's look at Malbim. It says, after the Jewish people sin and they get exiled from Israel in the first temple, second temple also. And so therefore, they'll get V'yishkenu Sham ben Yefet, and Yefet, which is Greece and Persia, will dwell in the land of Israel. They'll take it over. And also Rome, that ruled over after the second temple was destroyed. So that's what it means. When the Jewish people are okay, then the people in Israel will be their servants. But when Sheyichriv Elokim, when God destroys, that's what it says, Yaft Elokim leyefet. Elokim, that's God's aspect of severity. That Elokim, then he will dwell ba'ol Hashem. Then Yefet, which were the Greeks, the Romans, etc., they will dwell in the tents of Shem. Then Canaan will be a servant, not to the Jewish people, but to Yefet. They were the ones that conquered the world. So here we see in this strange story of these three sons, the whole entire future of the world until the Mashiach comes, basically. That the world will not be directed by the Jewish people. Okay, that is today's class, and thank you very much. There will be a class tomorrow at 8:15 in the morning. We'll learn Sikha. Have a good day. Shalom.
Thank you very much.